What's going on, everybody? Sean Pierce Johnson here. It is Winter NAMM 2018, and I am in the huge Yamaha ballroom in the Marriott. Yeah, Yamaha's so big they get their own friggin' hotel ballroom. None of that convention center garbage, so it's a little quieter, and I am standing here with Andy from Yamaha, and we're going to go through all the new and exciting things that Yamaha is doing this year with their electric and acoustic guitar line. And you guys came out of the gate a couple years ago with the RevStar, which was a whole game changer. You guys refaced the Pacifica line, which was really close to my heart. So let's talk a little bit about what's new and exciting in Yamaha land.
Cool, Sean. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it, and thanks to all your viewers for having it. What we've done for RevStar this year, a little bit of a refreshing, so we got some kind of cool, new, exciting colors. Another big thing, too, is we played with pricing a little bit, and we actually kind of priced them a little less expensive. So we actually brought pricing down, and I'll explain that as we go. One thing we did is we added a couple of colors to the RS320. That's our entry-level price point at $399. Ceramic humbuckers, NATO body, NATO neck, just a mean old guitar. But what we've done is we added the vintage white finish right off of our SBG and that beautiful ice blue right behind Sean there. So those are brand new colors for this year. The stock yellow color from the last 2 years is going away. So buy one of those because it'll be a collector's item. And then buy a white one or a blue one too.
I like this ice blue.
Isn't it very, very cool? The color they showed us was a BMW Mini Cooper, and that's where they got that kind of color code from. So I dig that color. I think it should do real well for us.
It fits with the whole like cafe racer and auto and motorcycle vibe that these were inspired by, and I dig the color.
Yeah, so you know the story about having it being kind of the first real marriage of Yamaha motors and music. So we took some motors design cues, and we'll get into that with some of the cool finishes. What we did this year was we added a gold top RS420. The #1 seller so far in the chain for everybody has been the RS502T. The T for trapeze. So once again, there's a Yamaha Motors design cue. We had the Motors guys design that trapeze tailpiece for us. That's been the #1 seller. Now $649, not $729. Good price reduction on that. Come on over here. Snake Eye Green on the 620. Look at that color. Isn't that just sexy? Flame maple top over a solid mahogany body. And then this year what we've done is we've added this beautiful snake eye green finish. Wraparound tailpiece, the patented Yamaha dry switch at $599. So no longer at $649. So the price has come down on this guy too.
Very cool. I love the ever decreasing prices. It makes everything a little bit more accessible and nicer guitars at a more accessible price. To me, it says the player gets more for their money, and they're going to get a better quality guitar, so they're going to want to play more.
That's exactly why we did it, Sean, is just kind of reposition ourselves, know where the meat of the curve is, and Yamaha has always been great about giving value to the customer. Put about $300 onto any sale price for relatively the quality of the guitar that you're getting. You know, these things should be $300 to $400 more. We're just very efficient in how we make it and very value conscious for your bottom dollar right there. We have added a shop black 720B. So what we did is here, once again, this is Yamaha Motors giving us a finish idea. To hand rub and take the gloss off a guitar is what guys would do to their motorcycles when they're driving through the streets real fast. Anything to be less conspicuous to the police, right? So what we've done this year is we added a 720B in the shop black. And also, somewhere else, is we've added a really deep, rich, what they call vintage Japanese denim blue color that is just spectacular. Great color additions to the RS720B. Now, $899, no longer $999 on the price point.
That might be one of my favorite finishes because I love rough around the edges looking guitars, not like the Relic job, but something that, because I'm hard on my instruments.
Yeah, me too. I play hard. I play hard on my toys. I really. And the nice thing about these instruments is they'll get some patina, so you can kind of see where you touch it. It wants to change color a little bit. So where you touch it around the knobs, it'll get a little dark around here, around the switch tip. Where you grab the guitar, your finger oils will get into it. And how do you clean it? You don't use wax. You use Dawn dishwashing liquid.
You heard it here first. Clean your guitar with Dawn dishwashing liquid. Wow, that's cool. I love that finish. This is probably my favorite of what we've seen so far. That gold top was nice, but this is like right up my alley.
I have to agree with you on that. And that's what's new for RevStar for 2018.
All right, well, let's go on to what else is new here at the Yamaha Ballroom. All right, now I have a story for you guys. When I was in music class as a young teenage boy, for some reason, my nice private school only had one guitar for the entirety of the music department. And that guitar was a Yamaha Pacifica. So if I ever happened at a point where I forgot a guitar and needed it for music class, I would borrow that Yamaha Pacifica. And it wasn't anything too special. It was just that standard Pacifica S-type body shape. But there's something endearing to my discovery and love of music through that guitar. So when you guys revamped the line, it was like, wow, this takes what I associated as like my beginner's guitar and brings it to a point where now, as a touring musician, as a professional, and as a demonstrator and someone who covers this industry, this is a new face for an old friend.
Yeah. And it's been Pacifica's been in the Yamaha lineup for about 12 years. Some revisions here and there. We've gone upscale, we've gone downscale. But when we did 611 VFMX last year, as we really kind of hit the pinnacle of what we do. So where Yamaha's value on the Pacifica line is, it's a 25.5-inch scale length. So if you grew up playing S-type guitars, this is going to feel real comfortable. RevStar is that 24.75-inch scale length. That's the LP length. If you're that guy, that's a great neighborhood to live in. A lot of us kind of grew up on this scaling, so picking up a Pacifica feels like home. It really feels comfortable. So what we've done compared to what other companies will do, for $649, yes, just $649, I'm going to give you brand name hardware, brand name pickups, brand name tuning keys and nut, all for the price of what other manufacturers are going to give you for their base model. So once again, more value, more upgrades, limited lifetime warranty, and that's what you're going to get from Yamaha, especially on the Pacifica side.
And he means name brand stuff. Just looking at this particular model, we have Seymour Duncan pickups on these, and these aren't like Duncan design branded. These are actual real deal Seymour Duncans with a humbucker in the bridge and a P90 in the neck. The bridge is a Wilkinson vibrato piece. And then we have other name brand hardware on here. So these are Grover tuners, which in my view, when it comes to guitar tuners, outside of locking, these are some of the best performing that are out there.
We put a tusk nut on it too, so you get a very, very slippery nut, help eliminate some of those tuning issues. This is a beautiful flame maple under that flat black over and alder body. Just a rip-roaring guitar. So what this is like that Super S style. So if you were to buy somebody else's stock guitar and put $300 of upgrades into it, that's roughly what you can get right out of the box from a Yamaha Pacifica 611.
It's a great platform for people to play on. You could make some modifications to it if you wanted to, but if you wanted to get this guitar, at least what my experience with it has been, is that this guitar feels like that guitar that you want to do work on, and you think like, oh, at this price point, I might want to do something to it, and you wouldn't have any problem doing it. But it's already been done for you, and that's been the amazing thing of watching the guitars with Yamaha grow over the last 3-4 years for me. It's been so exciting to see the division expand, because for a while it kind of shrank, and then it came back full fury, and they're covering as many bases as they can, and they're doing it at a good price point, because God knows there's not a whole lot of money in YouTube stuff.
And last year, here's a little bit of tidbit for you. Last year we sold more electric guitars in the United States than any previous year. Thanks to RevStar, thanks to Pacifica, and thanks to guys like Sean telling the world about it. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, isn't that nice? Awesome. I love this blue finish, by the way. All right, so that's Pacifica, and yeah, Pacificas are awesome. They're not just starter guitars. I see a Pacifica over there that I'd like to talk about because there's some interesting pickup choices. So we're gonna wrap around again. Like I said, this is a huge ballroom, so follow us. we're standing over there, and I see this particular Pacifica. I have no idea what the deal is and what the story is with this guitar, but I see way different pickups than I see on the standard Pacifica line. So there's something special about this one, and it's time we find out. So what's the deal with this particular new model?
The nice thing about Yamaha is we have the ability to make some custom shop products. We don't have a custom shop production facility, but I've got a master luthier, Pat Campolitano, that works out of our Calabasas facility that builds one-off instruments for artists or for trade shows. This was actually built for Josh Ray Gooch, who's actually playing with Shania Twain right now. So this was his personally built Pacifica with the P-rail in the bridge, the little foil top pickup on there, the beautiful pearl tuners, Godot locking tuners on the back shot, but built at the Yamaha Guitar Development Custom Shop in Calabasas, California. So actually, if you want to stay here, I got a lot of cool other... I'm going to show you guys some cool things that you're not going to see in your store. Sean is good. We're good. Watch this. Check it. Stay right there. Stay right there. Once again, this is the kind of work that Pat does up in our custom shop in Calabasas. This is an all Corina wood, 3 pickup RS502T. You can tell that by the trapeze tailpiece, but the beautiful Corina wood on the instrument. Look at the rosewood down the neck. And look at the inlays on the fretboard. Just a beautiful, beautiful instrument, and kind of indicative of what we can crank out for our artists. And then from this is we'll take some design cues off of it. Will this come into RevStar? Who knows?
Oh boy, that is cool. I saw this one from afar and was like, oh.
Once again, any good guitar is basically a good body and a good neck becomes a blank canvas for which an artist can draw on. So what he's done here is he's done the foil top pickups, added the little half Telecaster compensated bridge. This is swamp ash with the whitewash finish on it. Strung through body.
That's a roasted maple neck, too.
Roasted maple neck, just exceptional, completely one of a kind. Only available here to see at NAMM, and for you, because you watch Sean's videos. He's got pull, man. What can I do? I can't hold stuff from him.
I didn't know that I had so much pull this year.
He's got high friends in places.
That makes me feel good. I love it. This is what's so impressive, though, is what might not be able to get picked up on the camera, so we're going to try to get some good close-ups, is the binding around the edge of the guitar is the brown tortoiseshell of the pickguard. That is a fantastic little eye-popping detail on the whitewash finish.
And that's that attention to detail. So a good artist will look at it and goes, how do I pull this all together and make a cohesive guitar? So you're right on that, Sean, is that beautiful binding, that tortoiseshell binding, matches that kind of vintage tortoiseshell pickguard on that. Just gorgeous.
Yeah, this might be like, I've seen too many things that I like. I don't want anybody to leave the show with this other than me.
And I got a couple more custom shop pieces. Let's move to the other side and we'll show you there.
Okay, so I'm not a bass player. We all know that. I've demoed some bass gear. And some of your comments make me decide whether or not I want to keep doing that. And some of you don't like it. I'm going to do it one day. But as a guy who recently lost a bassist and needs to track some bass, I need a good bass. Yep. And our old bassist actually bought a Yamaha 5-string, which we used for some recordings, and it was a fantastic sounding bass. Not something that I would have thought to look to, because I just have not been exposed to the Yamaha basses. Now, after those sessions, I'm like, okay, I think maybe I might buy myself a Yamaha 5-string. And then I walk into the room the other day, and I see this. The simplicity of it, but the finish on it, it has a similar design aesthetic to my main guitar, with this black finish and this aluminum brushed chrome deal pickguard going on. This is attractive as hell. Let's take it off the wall and get some close-ups, and you can tell us a little bit about what we're looking at right here.
Yeah, so as we were looking at the custom shop guitars on the other side of the wall that Pat builds for artists, this was completely a one-off custom shop build. So what we've done now is we've taken the BB bass design, which we'll show you the production models here in a second. The BB bass shape, gave it a swamp ash body, added Jason Lawler's hand-wound pickups to it, just grain filled that with a little light gray on the grain filling. The single ply maple neck, look at the small little tuning keys on that. Wow. But completely the kind of the ability that we have at Calabasas to build one-off custom shop instruments for our artists. So,
yep.
Just sexy.
Yes, very sexy, and it knows it too. Well, on the subject of basses, let's go take a look at the standard range that we can get from the BB body shape.
Cool.
All right, so the Yamaha 5-string played a big role in my band's recent recording sessions. The sound of it actually fit perfectly, and it came out of the blue. I was not expecting that. But this is a whole range of instruments in the TRBX series, from 4s to 5s with varying electronic components and different pickup configurations. And there's even some different finishes that I've not seen. So, Andy, give us a little rundown of this series. What's new and exciting in this particular line of basses?
Well, Sean, TRBX has been in the lineup for about 10 years with Yamaha basses. It's become a legendary bass. We have some famous people playing them on the road. The nice thing is we started about $179 and we work our way up, getting really good at about $399. But this year what we want to do is introduce a new... We dressed up a model for you, so how about that? So that TRBX 505 that you guys are familiar with, for this year, we're gonna give it a flame maple top and a matching flame maple headstock. This is TRBX 604 and 605. Same preamp that you have on that 5 series, so the 3-band EQ with the active passive switch. $599 for the 4-string, $649 for the 5-string. So once again, a lot of value. Add $200 onto the price point for value of what you're getting in that box. You can vouch for Yamaha basses. There's millions of you guys out there that can vouch for them as well. A little more of a modern design compared to what I'm going to show you on the BB side of the wall. Very, very cool basses though. So this is TRBX 604 and 605, new for 2018.
All right. They look awesome, and I love the matte finish on this particular 4-string. I've gotten, especially with the bass front, I'm a sweaty guy. And the matte finish just, it doesn't accumulate the sweat nearly as much as, say, the gloss finish does. Not to say that the gloss finishes aren't fun, because they are fun, and they look fantastic. I especially kind of like this black that kind of gives way to blue kind of deal right here. I guess I could say midnight blue, maybe. That's pretty attractive, but...
And then you can actually really kind of see the quality of the build. So that is actually a pretty thick piece of maple on the top of this bass. So one thing about this compared to the sculpted mahogany, this might have a little more sharper note due to we're adding a little heavier wood onto the top of it. It doesn't really change the weight of it much, but we really can change the tonality by adding the denser maple on the top of it.
Right.
No thin veneer. This is a nice 1/4-inch chunk of maple.
Yeah, that's a proper cap on that. Cool. It looks awesome. Well, let's go check out the BBs.
You got it.
All right, we are on the BB side of the wall for Yamaha basses, which I actually am still familiar with through my music classes, because my teacher would bring in an old Yamaha BB bass, single pickup, but what I always remember about it is it was like a workhorse of the music class. If ever somebody didn't have a bass, we were using that bass. If somebody needed to play bass, such as my teacher, he would play that bass. So when the line kind of fell out of the catalog for a while, I was a little brokenhearted. But then it came back, but there's some new tweaks that you guys introduced earlier this year, and then you guys have, of course, what you're showing here at the show, and the BB is at the forefront of my attention when it comes to a good value bass. So let's talk about BB.
Yeah, so BB has a long history with Yamaha for probably over 30 years on the price sheet, but hasn't kind of done a major revision in about 10 years. So the main thing that with BB was always a heavy bass. It always had some heft to it. So this year, what you're seeing now is we're a slightly smaller body shape, slightly smaller headstock, and a lighter weight tuner. So immediately we've moved about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of weight out of the instrument. We've gone downscale, starting at a $299 price point, and then working our way up. So we actually can get somebody's entry-level instrument now can be a BB bass. But a couple of cool features that you're seeing on BB basses. Other than the beautiful 5-ply neck, we've added 2 neck bolts. Where did we get this idea from? Oh, you know, one of Yamaha's main basses is Billy Sheehan, right? So Billy has a tendency to abuse his basses and bend necks quite a bit. The thing that we found out about adding the neck bolts was stability and transference of vibration from the body into the neck. So now this instrument acts like a neck through or a set neck instrument. The other thing is 45-degree stringing through the body. Now we're getting the body into the resonance of what's going on, into the tone-making capability of what's up. Another thing that I'm really excited about, and we were just over on the TRBX wall, is we actually now have a BB bass that has an active-passive option. So we've taken that 3-band EQ out of the TRBX 5 series, put it into the BB7 series, active-passive switching. So let's say you're on a gig, I've got a modern song, but then I'm following it up with a Motown tune. Different sounds, kind of, right? One's a little more girthy, one's a little more warmer. Being I can flip the switch, I can go from modern to vintage at the drop of a hat. Little battery alert LED on the backside means that little light lights up when your battery's going dead, so you always know what's going on. The other exciting thing with the BB line, a little bit like we talked with the Japanese stuff, is our Japanese-made BB bass is the price has come down. Last generation, the BB bass made in Japan was about $24.99. And it was price prohibitive for a lot of working class people that wanted a really nice instrument but maybe couldn't afford it. The new Japanese-made BBP for Professional 34 is only $14.99 in a hard shell case, $15.99 for the 5-string. Now this is made traditionally how we've always made BB basses. The body is 2 pieces of alder with a piece of maple wood in the middle of it. And that's how BB's always had a really fast acceleration of the note. You really got a lot on the front end of the note. And that had to do with the maple wafer on the inside. Strung through body, 6-bolt neck, made in Japan. Attention to detail is just absolutely flawless. But now it's priced for your viewer. It's no longer price prohibitive to take that step up to the Japanese-made good.
Wow. You know, I didn't even realize that you guys wafered some, that was a great term, a maple wafer. I did not realize that that was a thing that was on these basses, because they do, in and of themselves, they have a very classic look to them, but there is a unique tone to them that you don't find in other basses.
You can kind of see it right here. There's a little light stripe of wood in the center. So we have 2 pieces of alder on the outside and then an interior piece of maple, which really helps that initial response of the note. It really helps this bass be a fast response to what you're putting into it.
Very cool. Wow, awesome. More innovation from Yamaha than I thought. But still, like, what would you expect? Awesome. Well, more basses that I can see what I can get out of it. I don't know, but they're all looking awesome, and there's plenty more here. I know you guys have an acoustic guitar that I'm excited to take a look at, so we're gonna go walk over to the acoustic area of this ballroom. Yes, this video is still going on, and if you're bored, I feel sorry for you. I'm having a great time. So we're gonna walk over to the acoustic wall, and we're gonna talk about a particular signature acoustic that is near and dear to my heart. Another thing that you might not expect out of Yamaha is high-end acoustic guitars. And this particular one, near and dear to my heart because it's the signature model of Billy Corgan. Now this model has been out for some time, but no, you're all right. It's NAMM, it's day 3.
About it. It really chokes me up.
I know the feeling. So it's near and dear to my heart. It's been out for a while, but I've not gotten to see it up close, experience it, and really get to know what makes it so special. So what is it about this guitar that sets it apart from Yamaha's acoustic range?
Well, a little bit of backstory. We found out a few years ago that Billy Corgan's main recording guitar was an old beat-up Yamaha jumbo body. So we thought that was kind of cool, so we reached out to him and made contact with his management. we gave him a couple of guitars to try. So what this is, his personal model is based on our LJ16, which means solid Engelmann spruce top over a solid rosewood back and sides in that limited jumbo. So you can kind of see it's a little more pronounced at the bottom bout and a little bit wider at the upper bout. We put the vintage style tuners on the top of it. We put his Zero logo on the headstock. One of the main differences, though, is he likes a guitar with a lot of attack on the front of the note. If you've ever seen him play acoustic guitar, it's pretty magical. He really can get a lot of emotion and tonal range out of one guitar. But a big thing with his sound is the adding of brass bridge pins. And it really is that just by adding that little bit of a denser material at the end of the string makes his guitar a lot more live sounding than the very same guitar without the bridge pins in it. So that's why we did it. Now here's one thing that's kind of cool. Limited edition. This isn't going to be in the catalog forever. There's 200 pieces in the vintage tint, and on the other side I've got a nice two-tone sunburst, only 200 pieces, and that's it. Then this run is done. So if you see one, buy one. It's a great guitar.
Awesome. Well, that's... Can I has it? I won't even go any further with that. But it is a beautiful looking guitar. So let's take a look at some of the other new and exciting things of the acoustic range. Right. Now we went from a jumbo style acoustic guitar to a much smaller body shape, and with good reason. This is a particularly famous style of acoustic guitar that some people love and other people don't. I happen to love it. So what exactly is this particular model?
And I feel sorry for the people that don't like it, because they should. It's a very, very cool thing. We're seeing in the last 5 years in the industry a big resurgence in parlor-sized guitars. You got to remember, back in the late 1800s, a parlor-sized guitar was a smaller guitar that you played in the parlor or the living room of your house, and you entertained guests. There was no TV back then, no 8-track, none of that. But so you played guitar with the family. But it always meant a smaller size instrument. So what Yamaha has done this year is we've done 2 separate models in a 23 6/10 scale length. So a lot smaller of a scale length on it. Solid spruce top. Once again, our scallop bracing on the inside like we do with our A-Series instrument. We're gonna give you the really, really nice gig bag with it. 2 price points, $399 or, oh, here we go. All solid wood, solid spruce over beautiful solid mahogany back and side at $599. Now this guitar has the same SRT zero impact pickup that the Billy Corgan does, and the same pickup that the L-Series does. We just happen to make it smaller. Available now starting in March. You're the first ones to see it at NAMM 2018 and on Sean's website.
Yay. Yay for me. Now the cool thing is that you're going to get the case. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill gig bag. This is a thick, heavily padded gig bag that blends the line between hard shell case and gig bag. So you're protecting your investment along with being able to reliably and easily transport your investment.
And this guitar really is a travel guitar. The smaller size makes it easy to throw in the back of the car or keep behind your desk at the office or wherever you keep a guitar handy for playing. The smaller size just makes it just easier.
Yeah. Definitely. And I'll spend some time with these later and I'll give you guys an idea. Some other time we'll talk later about it. Yeah, huge offerings from Yamaha here at NAMM 2018. Andy, I can't thank you enough for taking us through everything.
One last special thing
for
your viewers?
One special thing? Let's do it.
Walk this way.
All right, people. One last thing. One last thing. And I know you've been watching for a long time.
Thank you for your patience, too, by the way.
Yes.
This is a lot to undertake, but we got a lot to show you. And there's only one place you're going to see it. It's on Sean's website.
All right. Let's see. What is this new, exciting, special thing, last thing that we'll see from Yamaha at NAMM 2018?
So last year, we debuted a guitar called Trans Acoustic. We did a guitar that's going to give you natural reverb and chorus from the guitar unplugged. So you don't need to plug into an amplifier or any external effects device to have natural reverb and chorus unplugged. That guitar is still on the price sheet. It's about $999. Absolutely awesome instrument. But what we've done this year is we've added transacoustic technology into our very famous FG820 guitar. solid Sitka spruce over a laminate mahogany back and sides, but now with trans-acoustic technology, both in the dreadnought shape and in the cool FS shape, in the beautiful ruby red finish at a $599 price point. They start shipping next month.
And those effects are built into the guitar. You don't have to get one of those external devices that they work quite nicely, but that's a big bulky thing on your guitar, whereas this is built right inside there.
See it, there's nothing on the back of the guitar. There's no external device. All I need to do is turn the preamp system on, crank up the effect, get a big splash of reverb and chorus on this dial unplugged. Now when I plug the guitar into an amplifier or a PA system, the effects will come down the cable as well. So very, very cool product, now at a more affordable price point of $599.
Check it out. Lots of value from all these new offerings from Yamaha. I'm excited, and I hope to see plenty more. Andy, thank you so much for walking me through.
That was great.
Well, hey, there you go. Yamaha at NAMM 2018. It's all said and done. Thanks for watching. You know what to do if you want to see more NAMM. The floating subscribe bubble is somewhere between our two heads. And until next time, I wish you all great tone and happy stomping. Cheers.